Mount Irazu. And hopefully this should be the last pads video except for some tapes.
Costa Rica has several active volcanoes, Irazu being one of them.
That's where Camino de Lava comes from, huh?
The tropical dry forests around here are quite different from our rainforests. They lose their leaves in the dry season. Tropical forests are not all thick jungles. A few of them even have cacti. Some of Costa Rica's greatest assets are its diverse forests and natural landscapes. Costa Rica got its first real railroads up and running about 100 years ago. Their primary purpose was to move coffee harvested in the Central Basin to the Caribbean coast.
They built railroads here 100 years ago? That's impressive.
It was even more difficult than you would imagine. Later, they started using the railroads for shipping bananas too. There still might be some branch lines around here.
Bananas.
Aldea de los Despiertos means Village of the Awake.
Weird name.
The area is littered with coffee fields, and there is a factory nearby. The villagers are fans of coffee, so...
Nah, they don't get much sleep, huh? They've got a sense of humor, all right.
I cannot believe they would take over a place like this and use it as a prison. It is unforgivable for both the CIA and the thugs they employ. All the villagers wanted was to live in peace. What gives the CIA the right to crush them like that?
They don't care about anyone's rights but their own. It's just the way some people are.
You really think so?
Don't worry. It just gives me the right to teach them a lesson.
La CIA has taken control of this coffee factory too, all to produce its drugs. It was famous once for its fine beans.
Cafe tal aroma encantado. Enchanting aroma, huh?
See, once we have thrown the mercenaries out of Costa Rica, I know it will make wonderful coffee again. And then you must come and try some, Snake.
Sounds great. I wouldn't mind a cup of joe after all this is over. Oh, wait.
What is wrong?
No, I just remembered this guy I knew who wasn't big on coffee. English. Get rid of that muddy water and get a cup of black tea down your gob, he'd say.
That is too bad for him. It is delicious.
Yeah, I think I recorded that one earlier. Old Zero. Rest in peace.
As I said before, building railroads in Costa Rica was a dangerous job. A lot of men died, and sometimes they stopped work altogether. This is one of those places. They had to cut through steep terrain, so when they finally made it through, they just built the rail terminal right there. And that is why they named it
El Cadalso. The gallows. Charming. I'm surprised the construction money didn't dry up the way things were going.
Actually, it did, but the bananas helped complete it, so they say.
You mean the energy the workers got from eating bananas?
Huh?
Oh, I suppose they do have plenty of vitamins and...
No. I meant the money they got to finish it came from exporting bananas.
Oh,
But one thing is for certain.
God, Snake.
Owners of the railroads expanded into the banana trade after construction was completed. That was the start of banana cultivation in Costa Rica.
It's funny. Snake's he's like a video game character. I mean, in dialogue. A lot.
Snake, to the north of the village is a bridge that crosses a hydraulic pipe. Though normally the bridge is not used by people, if you slip, you will fall straight to the bottom of the valley. Be careful.
what's a channel doing here?
It is not for irrigation. They are hydroelectric pipes. I wonder if they run into Irazu's Crater Lake. Normally they would build a reservoir at the bottom of the valley, but it was probably too dangerous. Los Cantos means sword peak.
Sword.
You should be able to see across the Irazu mountain range from there. There are not as many big trees at that elevation, and you will probably be well above the mist.
It'll be tough to hide up there.
You're not thinking about the scenery right now, are you?
Not while I'm surrounded by bad guys.
You should have seen it when the country was at peace. I know you would have been impressed.
Well, that'll be our reward for a successful mission. Sound good?
Wonderful. Thank you, Snake.
Snake. Oh, fortress.
There is an old fort around there.
What is it, boss? You sound upset.
Well, you see, it was built during the Civil War.
Let me guess. Disputes between Costa Rica's political parties escalated into all-out conflict.
See, conflict that cost my grandparents their lives. The most senseless sort of war. Countrymen mindlessly slaughtering their own. That fort is a reminder of that senselessness.
Sadly ironic, given who's occupying it now.
That war was the reason Costa Rica abolished the army. Please, Snake, get them out of our country.
I intend to. Boss, what was the government thinking building a power plant at the top of a mountain? With no river to replenish the water, the lake would dry up pretty quick.
If it were an ordinary power plant. But the plan called for a pumped storage power plant.
Pumped storage power plant? Kaz mentioned that too. What is that?
It is a facility that generates electricity by pumping water up to the lake, then letting it run back down.
Huh. Seems Sisyphean to me.
If they turned the water into electricity as soon as they had pumped it up, sure. But a pumped storage plant acts as a kind of battery.
A battery?
For instance, they could pump at night when there is surplus electricity and store it for later use. If they need extra power during the day, they can generate it using water pumped up during the night.
I get it. It's a little more difficult to adjust output with thermal or nuclear plants.
The thing is, Costa Rica won't have enough electricity to meet its needs. Right now, there is no surplus.
Maybe that's what put the brakes on the project. Must have played right into the CIA's hands.
What a weird idea.
This area is a tropical cloud forest, continually covered in a thick mist. It is quite a mystical place.
Selva de la Leche. Forest of milk. I can barely see in front of me.
There you go again. The forest is basically sitting in a cloud, so of course it's going to be hard to see. But you know, the cloud forest is the only place many exotic creatures can live.
Well, if they're not edible, I'm not interested.
Snake, I'll have you know people travel from all around the world to witness Costa Rica's unique fauna.
I'm not interested. Pasta's getting annoyed by Snake.
Snake, watch out for the frogs.
Why? They bite? Relax. No frog's ever eaten a snake. Although, I've feasted on a few frog's legs myself.
But they are dangerous. They are poisonous.
Poisonous?
Poison dart frogs live up to their name, I assure you. Their poison is so strong. The Indígena use them to make poison-tipped arrows. Some secrete poison through their skin. Even touching them can be dangerous. So don't go petting them or anything.
So I can't eat one?
I am warning you. Catarata de la Muerte means waterfall of death.
Huh. How cheerful.
I am sure it will be no problem for you, Snake. Especially compared to all the dire situations you've faced in the past.
Yeah, easy to say now. We'll see what really happens.
Sorry. Still, you have surprised me. Everything they say about the legend is true.
I'm neither hero nor legend. But for some reason, I don't mind you calling me that.
Thanks. Be careful, Snake. Peace.
Yeah, Snake.
Selva de la Muerte, huh? Forest of Death. I wouldn't want to get lost here.
Sure wouldn't. But do not worry. I will be your guide.
Happy to hear it.
By the way, Snake, you know much about sloths?
Just the name.
They are amazing. Sloths spend almost all of their lives up in the trees, except for when they have to go to the bathroom. Plus, they barely eat a thing.
What? How do they survive?
Why do you think they are called sloths? They hardly move, so they hardly burn any energy. They are also able to maintain a low body temperature, lowering their metabolism further and allowing them to survive on very little.
Wouldn't that make it easier for them to get picked off by predators?
They stick to the trees, helping them blend in and stay out of sight. They say there are even some sloths that grow moss when they reach a certain age, like some sort of fairy tale forest hermit, huh?
I knew a great old sniper once.
Huh.
Guess he was even more in tune with nature than I thought.
Old sniper? What are you talking about? La Ruinas de Xochiquetzal will be around there. They have not been restored at all, so they may well be covered in plants.
Xochiquetzal?
An Aztec goddess of fertility and beauty. They say she was always accompanied by birds and butterflies. One theory states she was the mother of the god known as Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
The Quetzal is said to be an incarnation of Quetzalcoatl, hence its name.
I get it. Well, this place definitely matches the atmosphere of a cloud forest.
Now, it may have seen better days, but that is still a temple, so be sure to show respect when you're inside.
If the mood strikes me.
Well, you've got no one to blame but yourself if Xochiquetzal strikes you down.
Well, nice one, Snake.
I do not know if I recall such large ruins being there.
Well, didn't you say there's a lot we don't know about Costa Rica's ancient civilization?
Exactly what she
You
said.
talked about some giant stone balls, too. What are those?
Oh, the stone spheres of Costa Rica? They are an assortment of giant spheres carved from stone that were discovered in the jungles of Costa Rica about 50 years ago.
What's so special about that?
What if I told you some of them are nearly perfect spheres, and that they were carved out of granite, which is quite a hard substance?
Could be good for laying a trap. And if they're spherical, they roll easily, too.
Snake!
Snake. Oh, good. Not much.
So tell me, what do they mine around here?
Gold, if I am not mistaken.
Gold? No kidding. I wonder what would be the fastest way to...
I do not know how much success they have had. You do not hear of anyone still operating mines around here.
Oh,
Generally speaking, people here are not too thrilled with outside capital coming in and taking away the country's natural resources. 4 years ago, a group of protesters hurled stones at the Parliament building when people found out the country had been bestowing mining rights to foreign companies.
Whoops.
They must have had to clear a considerable amount of forest to open up that mine.
no doubt. So much for any hiding places, too.
And it is not just the forest. Without the proper precautions, the mine's wastewater could pollute the groundwater. And to top it all off, they are developing nuclear weapons there too. How can people care so little about their own country?
I'm not the one to ask about that.
Well, you may have abandoned your country, but you still treasure where you came from.
You think so?
Sure. I know you do.
Paz, you... Whatever you do, never stop loving your country.
Rest in peace.